Hi folks, my name is Hope Stimac. I'm one of the counselors at Jones, and I'm here today to talk to you about Counseling 101 for freshman parents. Who are the JCP counselors? How do we support your student, and what can you expect during freshman year? So I'm going to talk through a few things. Who are we? What do we do? How do we do it? And what's next? So who are we? We have 6 counselors at Jones. We split students up into caseloads alphabetically by last name. So Ms. Sajida Syed works with freshman students, last names A through Cruz. Mrs. Reiko Belke works with freshman students, last names Cuddy through Hanley. Ms. Hope Stimac, me, works with freshman students, last names Harris through Lowe. Mr. Brian Coleman is our counseling department chair, and he works with students, last names M through Pitchford. Mrs. Vijaya Schneiderbeck works with freshman students, last names Poison through Stunard, and Miss Marshall Goins works with freshman students, last names Sullivan through Z. We're also supported in the counseling department by Miss Olga Gutierrez. She's our front desk clerk. So when we come back to school, she'll be the first face that students see when she walks into the office, or when they walk into the office. And Miss Gutierrez is also fluent in Spanish. So if your student or your family will need any Spanish-speaking support, Ms. Gutierrez often works with us on that. So that is who we are. What do? We support your students in 3 main areas, one being academic support. This can be things like picking classes for next year, talking about 4-year plans as far as class planning. We can work with students on time management skills, organization. We also can help support students if they need to reach out to their teachers for help. If there's something going on with the teacher, we can kind of brainstorm with your student on how we might work together to get them that support. We also offer social emotional support for students if they are having a hard time transitioning to Jones, if they're having a hard time making friends, getting involved, if they're struggling with some anxiety or depression symptoms. These are all things we can speak to your students about. We can also, in the event that we feel it appropriate, refer you, your student, and your family to outside mental health supports if we feel like your student needs that additional support. And then finally, we support students when it comes to college and career readiness. We will work with students on, what would you like to do when you graduate, which I know seems like a long way away for you folks, but it's really not. What's most important in freshman year that we always tell students is to get involved, to see what things you like and what things you don't like that can maybe translate into a potential career post-high school. So that's what we do. How do we do it? So there's really 3 structured ways in which we see freshman students in their freshman year. One being counseling seminars. So if you didn't know, your student has already had their first counseling seminar. A counseling seminar is where the counselors will go into a student's academic class and deliver counseling curriculum. So a few weeks ago, we went into students' PE classes. They came and met with us in Google Meet, and we talked to them really about Counseling 101. We'll have 2 more seminars. Later on in the year, we'll talk about skills and transitions in December. And then in March, we'll talk about graduation requirements and course scheduling. We also offer one-on-one conferences, one-on-one meetings between every counselor and all of their freshman students. We call this the freshman conference. So starting in mid-October, students will have an opportunity to sign up for a 10-minute meeting with us, which is really just a great opportunity for us to get to know your student, to learn more about them, and to learn more about how we could potentially support them. And then finally, the counselors partner with the Eagle Leader Mentors. So if you did not know, all of your students have an upperclassman mentor. Mr. Coleman and I actually work together to manage the upperclassman mentors. We are the advisors to the mentorship program. But the counseling department really tries to align what we're talking about with students with what the mentors are talking about with students. Now, in addition to this formalized programming, we can also offer individual check-ins with your students as needed. Easiest way for us to kind of get that running is for your student to email us. So, great. We've talked about who we are, how we can support, and how we support. So what's next? What's next is a quick overview of our freshman programming calendar. So this document is available on the website, and it really just kind of lays out how we'll be working with your students every month during the school year. So in September, your student joined their counselor's Google Classroom. They reviewed the Counseling 101 lesson material, and they attended freshman seminar, and hopefully they attended club fair. Students still have access to club fair if they were not able to attend. In October, students will review the video lesson, freshman conferences, which will explain what a freshman conference is. They'll sign up for a freshman conference, and then they'll have their freshman conference. In November, if they've not yet, your student will meet with their counselor for their freshman conference, and then they'll want to schedule check-ins with teachers, parents and guardians, and or their counselor for report card pickup. A big note here is that after quarter one, our schedule is subject to change given a potential return to school. In December, your students will review the skills and transitions lesson posted in Google Classroom, and then they will attend their second freshman seminar during their physics class for follow-up Q&A and discussion. In January, your student will need to be studying for finals and starting to think about classes for next year. In February, your students will want to start researching and applying for enrichment programs and service learning opportunities. They'll want to review the course scheduling handbook, and then they'll want to schedule a meeting with their counselor if they have questions or concerns about their classes for sophomore year. In March, students will review the course scheduling lesson posted by their counselor and then attend freshman seminar during English class for follow-up Q&A and discussion. We'll be talking about course scheduling, and then they'll complete the scheduling survey in order to choose their classes for sophomore year. In April, students can review content in Google Classroom with information regarding summer jobs and work permits. They can start the job search in the One Summer Chicago application. They can be looking for internship or enrichment opportunities, and then they'll want to schedule check-ins with teachers, parents and guardians, and or their counselor during report card pickup. In May, students will want to continue researching and applying for enrichment programs and service learning opportunities, finalize summer plans for work, enrichment, service learning. And then in June, your students will want to study for their final exams and get ready to enjoy their summer. So that's who we are, that's how we support, and that's what you can expect for this year. And the counselors are so excited to get to know you folks and to get to know your students. We'll be working with your students over the next 4 years of high school, and we just truly are looking forward to offer our super supports. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your child's counselor via email. Take care.